How do you find the best deal? How do you know if a sale is really a sale? The person I'm about to talk to knows all about this. This is Joe Ducey, and I'm with the Better Business Bureau, serve the Pacific Southwest, and I'm talking with Daphne Munro. Say it.
Your Smart Shopper.
Your Smart Shopper, yeah. Daphne and I worked together at ABC 15. If you've been in Arizona, you know who this person is because she was here for how long were you at ABC 15?
Oh, for about 12 years. But I worked in local television for at least 20. So trust me, people know who I am.
People know who you are. And you are continuing with Smart Shopper.
Yes.
You've got your own podcast.
I do. It's called Smart Living. So basically, after I left ABC 15, it was quite abrupt back in 2016.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell off the face of the earth because I needed to figure out how I could take this brand and turn it into the digital world, taking it from television to the digital world. And that's what I've been figuring out. And it's been a brand that people in the Valley love to get information from. So
they do.
Yeah, I live in the land of social media, and I just go around and I just do what I do, which is show people how to save money, live their life smart, and make wise money decisions.
We're going to get more into that podcast in a minute, and you have to take Daphne's word for that. People know her. We went through the Better Business Bureau and looking around, it's like, oh yeah, oh hi, yeah, some people knew you there, and from a long time ago. Corey, my boss, has been here, was a big fan.
I love it. It always puts a smile on my face. I had no idea that, you would bring so much joy to people's lives just by them meeting you. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, and you did great work there. We both worked at ABC 15. And we both got really great stories to tell. Some we can't tell here.
And some we can.
Some we can. There'll be a pay version, though, that they can go to that will tell the real deep secrets, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. No, we had, good experience for me. And we're here to talk about deals and about scams. And Daphne and I are going to put each other to the test a little bit about what the other knows about what they're kind of an expert in.
Right.
And so I don't know if I want to go to that first. Let's talk a little bit about how you find a good deal. And how do you know a deal's a deal? Everything's a sale. Everything's thrown at you. Social media, you see the big things that come up all the time, 50% off. How do you know?
So how do I know it's a deal when it's a deal? You have to do your research. Just because a retailer says, oh, it's on sale, it's $69.99. Well, okay, but is it a good deal? So how do you know?
Yeah. So you have to go back and find out what that was probably costing and then see if the 20% or whatever. Or do you end up trusting a certain store after a period of time because you've had a good relationship with them, or you've
Well, certain products. Let's just take down something that you know, like something that you often buy all the time. So something that I know that's a good price is, for example, like Ely Coffee. I love Ely Coffee. And so I'm always looking for a good price. So I know that when I can get a can for less than $10, I know it's a good deal because this is a product I've been buying, but most of the times I can find it for $14. So that's just living your life, and it's a product that you know, so you know a good deal when you see it. But if it's something like, say, for example, you're buying a gift for somebody, like a Lego set I bought for my daughter for Christmas. Right. I've never bought that before. So when they're like, it's $300, and they're like, it's on sale, is that a good deal? Well, I have to go do my research. And technology and the free tools that we have, all you have to do is simply take the time to just look up things and use those apps. So there's price tracker apps. There's also simply Googling something and looking at the product and see if you find it cheaper someplace else.
Price tracker apps. I don't put you on the spot here, but do you any come to mind that you
Camel.
Camel.
You can put me on the spot because I've been eating and breathing ways to save money my whole life. So.
All right. So camel, spelled that way, three
times in a row.
Okay. Yeah. And you can get on there, and what do? You put in.
You just put in what you're looking for. So say, for example, it was this Lego set. So I put in the Lego set specifically, and then it showed me what the current prices were, and then I put in a price that I felt like at $169. Please let me know when it hits that.
Oh. You can put a price on when it gets there.
Yeah, and then it will send you an email with that. Yeah. Camel has been around for a really long time. Yeah. And there's a lot of other tracking apps like that. But I know I keep on repeating myself, but the key thing is just because somebody tells me it's a deal, I need to prove it to myself that it is. Yeah. I'm not just going to buy it.
What do you think, and this gets into my territory a little bit too, but with the things that pop up all the time, when you're doing something, it looks like something, you've been tracked.
Right, yeah.
You've been looking for something and something comes up like at this deal. I always think scam when it comes up, but not necessarily, I guess. But, I don't really know I guess you have to look and then compare. So I think part of the problem is people don't want to take the time to compare and versus and what this store is charging for it and what this store is that actually a good deal?
Right, exactly. And not only that too, but yes, in order to save money, you have to put some effort into it. Anything that you want, you have to put effort into it.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easily without great effort. So another thing you had asked me about how to find a deal, but what about if the deal that you thought you got wasn't a deal?
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Yeah.
And that's where you also have to do more research. You have to educate yourself on what the return policy is.
Yeah.
You have to educate yourself on what people are saying, what reviews are. Also, whenever doing business with anybody, you want to check them out, hence the BBB, which is huge.
Yeah.
So there's many different ways. Another thing is like, okay, this is where I'm getting a little bit off in the weeds here, but
that's fine.
So you're saying how do people find deals? Okay, that's great. So we're teaching you how to spend your money, make sure you're saving it wisely. But what happens if you buy a product and like it breaks? Like a lot of people don't read what the warranty policy. Everyone's so like, oh, I need to find a deal. But what about if it breaks? Like, is that company going to be there for you when it breaks?
Right.
Are they going to stand behind the product?
It's interesting. We just had something that had a lifetime warranty. And people don't realize that means a lifetime of the company that has a warranty. Right. And they could be going under in 2 years, 3 years, It's not your lifetime.
Right.
Or it's not even how long the thing lasts.
Right.
It's the length of the business, the person, So you almost have to check those out too. Who's the warranty with?
Right. But you can also find a great deal on those too. So let me just give you a little.
Yeah.
So you're totally about being wise, educating yourself, making sure you are not getting screwed when it comes to spending money. But for me, I see that as an opportunity. So here's how I see it. So for example, Jan Sport, I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
They're a backpack manufacturer. They have a lifetime warranty on their backpacks.
Okay.
So if anything's wrong or defective.
And they've been in business a long time.
Forever. And really their backpacks are solid. I will stand behind that brand and I will spend $70 on a backpack all day long because I know that that's the last $70 I'm going to have to spend on that backpack.
Did you just do a placement here and I had no idea?
No, not at all. I swear. I have no sponsors. I am totally genuine and authentic.
I'm kidding you.
I know. I am not an influencer like that. But so that's the perfect example. So say, for example, this is how I would see it as money. So say, for example, I go to Goodwill. I see a JanSport backpack for $6 and it's kind of ripped up and thrashed. Well, I know I can return that to JanSport and they're going to send me a brand new one. Yeah. Boom.
Wow.
And that's the way I think.
It's right there.
And that's how I find deals.
I love it. I don't know if you don't know Daphne probably personally, but boy, their attitude is just so great. You guys were at ABC 15. You guys had there were times when you were coming up. I was telling my boss here like 3 deals a day with your team.
Yeah.
That was our deal. Now you guys were doing deals that weren't just, hey, Southwest is having a sale or whatever. You guys were out there finding deals like with businesses who would come up with 25% off or free, 1 buy 1 get 1 or whatever.
Yeah, and when I left, they were never able to do that again.
Oh.
And here's why. Because I am a business owner.
Yeah.
And so when I was led to lead the Smart Shopper segment for ABC 15, they allowed me to lead. So I would approach businesses and I would sit down with a business owner and figure out a win-win way.
Yeah.
So if we did a discount for 1 day, how much is that going to hurt your bottom line? And we would talk about that. So it wasn't so much negotiating.
Yeah.
It was us sitting down having conversation. Do you think this publicity is going to benefit you? Well, yeah, let's give them good publicity and give my viewers 50% off.
Yeah.
And that was the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you have a business background, I feel like as a reporter, you wouldn't have been able to negotiate that.
Yeah.
But because I had the business aspect in mind, and I still am a business owner, I think about that's how you approach a business is, hey, I'm going to give you some business here, but I need you to discount your stuff for a day. But in the long run, you're going to make that money up. You have to lose a little bit in order to make a lot.
Okay. That's great. We'll get to the podcast because I want to talk more about that. I first so want to engage people. If you're listening right now, I told Daphne that I didn't tell her everything. That I came up with. I'm the scam guy or I'm the business guy. I'm trying to like protect people.
I've got some great questions.
Well, actually, we're trying to help people. This is a Better Business Bureau podcast, and we're trying to help people find the good businesses that we know are out there. And a lot of those businesses are accredited businesses that took the time to raise themselves to a higher ethic.
And that's the thing with the BBB. In order to get the seal, this business has to be doing business the ethical way and the Joe Ducey way.
And there you go. There you go. That's good, man. Matt will love that. See, you'll love that. And also avoid the bad businesses. So I wanted to test you a little bit about scams. All right, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to throw a couple of things out there. Ask Corey about that, and she said they were tough questions. But
okay.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, you didn't know about this. But you're going to test me too, or maybe you already did. I didn't know anything about those deals. All right. You're looking for a remote job. Now, listeners or viewers, if you can take this too, I won't give you the answer right away, but think about this too. You're looking for a remote job and your resume is online. You've been contacted and interviewed by a recruiter. You research and find the business and recruiter's name online. Mm-hmm. So why could it still be a scam? Number one, you're interviewed through online messaging. 2, they're sending you money to set up a home office. 3, they need proof you are who you are through your social security number. 4, all of the above.
Oh my God, all of the above.
Good one. Nice. Nice.
It was easy.
Yeah. Hey, man, we're working towards it. I'm building on it.
Can I tell you something? Yeah. That just gives me a spin off here. Yeah. So one of the scams that they're doing on LinkedIn is if you're looking for a job, they'll have supposed recruiters, come and solicit you saying, hey, there's a company that's interested in you. Yeah. Can you send us your resume? Then you send them your resume and they'll respond back saying, hey, you know what, this resume isn't quite that great, but here's the company that we want you to use to improve your resume. That's a new scam.
That's a good one. I mean, that's not a good one. That's
I
can see how it lures people in.
Right.
That's one of the top scams with the Better Business Bureau right now. And a couple of things here. One, if you're listening, interviewed by messaging, no, you want to see the person. There should be a way that you see the person, even if it's remotely. 2, they're sending you money. You don't send money when you haven't really been hired or been paid yet. That doesn't happen. Normally what happens, they give you money, and then they want you to send it to Phil, who's going to set up the computer and all. And the check is bad, and you don't find that out for a while, and you've given them the good money. And the last one, they need proof. No, you don't give them a social security number. Not right now. So that's that one. What about you? What about other? Think about it. I guess I don't know if it's the same because this is a little easier to do these tests on. But if there's something you can test me on about what I know about deals, I guess about. I always wonder about these. Shops that sell things, what's it called? Off factory or outlets, outlet malls, those kinds of things. I think that I could find some good deals there. Now, is that true, or do you think they just make them for the outlet? Do you know much about that?
I think the latter of the two is usually the answer.
Okay.
So I always find that they have like kind of a lesser of the brand.
Okay.
That's the case. But when shopping for, like outlet stores and everything, it just depends on what you want, because if the brand is there, so let's say, for example, I can't think of let's say Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And they have like an
let's
outlet
just say
store.
Louis Vuitton.
I know that's probably a bad example.
I've never been.
Kate Spade, there we go. They have an
outlet
outlet
Nike,
store.
Yeah.
Or Nike, there we go. That's a perfect one.
Yeah.
So when you go to the Nike outlets, usually they are made just for that store.
That's what I thought. That's what I've heard a little bit, but I wasn't sure if they like sell them in a, because it always says like regular retail price, $90. You get it for $35.
Right.
But if they made it for the store, it was never $90.
Exactly.
Okay, so it was always $35.
And is it less quality? Well, that's for you to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, because something that's $90, if you get it for $35, it might still be $90.
What is what on your podcast? What's the name of it again?
Smart Living.
Smart Living.
That's it.
Smart Living. You can find online.
Yeah, you can find it online. Everybody can find me under Smart Shopper Daphne.
Okay.
If you just simply Google Smart Shopper Daphne, YouTube channel, Instagram, blog will all come up. But my blog, smartshopperdaphne.com, is basically the funnel. So all of my content is uploaded there and it's distributed in other spots. And you can also listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So, I'm on my 3rd or 4th episode now. So we're getting going. The podcast is doing very well. I'm shocked.
That's great. Well, people know you and you've always given good information.
That's the key.
And this is always going to be something people want to hear about. And let me ask you about the different podcasts that you've done. Is there one that comes to mind that you would share with somebody that they maybe didn't know? You're talking to people, right? Specific people about, well, you did the tire thing.
Right.
Recently.
So, I'm trying not to date us because I don't know when you're going to upload this, but I did this thing. So, a lot of my deals and topics I talk about are things that just come around my life. At the end of the day, I'm an emotional person. If it doesn't interest me, I won't talk about it. If it interests me, I want to talk about it all day long.
Yeah.
So I have an EV. It's electric vehicle. I bought a BMW i3. It's a 2018. I paid just $28,000 for it.
Wow.
I could add. And I did some research on it. I did a lot of research on EVs and all this stuff, but what I didn't do research on was the tires. It's just not something I would research on. And the main reason why I wanted an EV is, you can say I'm sustainable in the environment, but for me, I don't like getting gas. I hate going to the gas station getting gas, and that's why I wanted an EV. Simple as that. But in the process, I've had to buy 2 sets of tires in 3 years that I've owned the car. So just about every 13 months, I'm needing to get a new set of tires.
Okay.
Did you know this?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Until I saw what you did.
Yeah, it's huge. So basically what it is that's the catch. So instead of paying gas, I'm paying $1,000 to $1,500 on tires almost every year, which is what I would probably spend on gas. Now, granted, there's still more savings in earning an EV because I don't have an engine to deal with. I don't have to deal with oil changes and all that nonsense. So it's simple that way. But yeah, it's the tires.
So I wonder if everybody has this issue. We should look further. Maybe we could do another report on it. Okay.
I did extensive research, and actually I have podcasts out on that. But basically what my research showed was that 20 to 50% less. I'm saying this backwards, but your tires last less.
25% less than a normal tire would be on a
gas-powered car.
Wow,
exactly.
wow.
So I got a little tongue twisted there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the question is why? Here's why. Because battery-powered cars weigh more money, way more. Okay. The batteries are heavy. The cars are heavier. So there's more tear on the tires. And tire manufacturers haven't made tires that are efficient for EVs yet. So even Tesla drivers or now there's many electric cars out there now, but in general, they get less use than gas powered cars because of that. Plus also there's this thing called regenerative braking, which my car has. So when I take my foot off the accelerator, my car starts braking. Okay. So those 2 back tires are getting worn even more. Okay. But the BMW, hold on, I want to add one more thing. The BMW is even worse. The i3, they discontinued it in 2021. That car only has 1 tire that'll fit it, and it's the Bridgestone, and they don't warranty it.
So it's an exclusive thing, and you have to pay a certain amount of money.
Yep, and I'm beholden to them.
All right. Well, check out the tires. That's the key to all this.
So that's some of the topics that we talk about. Plus, ways to make your own homemade laundry detergent, all those things.
Now, that's great. Mm-hmm. How do you make your... No, hang on.
I'll tell you.
No, I don't want to know yet.
It's really easy.
Okay, go ahead.
It's 1 cup borax, 1 cup super boosting Arm & Hammer, and 1 bar of Fell's Naphtha soap. That's it. Okay. You'll get at least 40 loads. It'll cost you less than $7 to make.
That's great. Mm-hmm. And you can see you making it, I'm sure, on the
I've got it on my podcast.
I was going to tell you I didn't text you about this, but I thought we could talk about deals like food, like meal deals at restaurants. Barrow's Lunch. Yeah. Barrow's Lunch. 2 slices of pizza, a salad, and a drink for like $9, $8, $8.50.
Do you think that's a good deal?
It's a great deal. Yeah. I think. 2 pieces of pizza, a salad, and that's a great deal.
That is a great deal.
Yeah, just so you know.
So you're looking at lunch deals all the time. You should be making your lunch.
I should be. That was a placement for Barrow's, actually.
Yeah, are they sponsoring you?
No, they're not. Let me look at it. All right, one more. I'm going to test you another one. Okay. All right. In Arizona, there's a 3-day right to cancel on some purchases, but it only applies to what?
Oh, is it the lemon law?
It's a 3-day right to cancel. It's called 3-day right. So in other words, you got you 3 days right to cancel, but only certain purchases. Okay. But it only applies to what? Car deals, sales done in homes, cell phones, all of the above.
I feel like it's all the above. Am I right on that? I know for sure it's a lemon law. The car, you can return it within 3 days.
Oh,
really?
You can't. No, and a lot of people think that. That's why I put this on here. Yeah. Car deals a lot. No, the only thing that you can in 3 days is a sale done in your home.
Really?
And I'm wondering if that's because there was an outrage, like there was pressure in the house. And so legislators said, okay, if it's in your house, you get 3 days to think about this, and then you can decide whatever. Now, timeshares, I think you get 10 days, but that's something different. Now, but in your house also means at a bridal fair, like at a place you go out to the bridal things where you have booths and things and you sign. That's also, you have 3 days. That's like an extension of your home. Yeah.
That's huge. I did not know that.
Yeah, but car deals, no. Cell phone plans, no, and the rest of the stuff. Yeah, a lot of people think it's like everything. But just, that's something. But a lot of people don't know that, so. I'm glad I can get Daphne Munro actually to say, because I know I normally can't.
I have another question for you. Yeah. So I'm going to stump you here, maybe. So say, for example, like, you have a lot of things on Instagram and you have a lot of TikTok, people selling stuff. Yeah. These are like sales things. It's like almost like the as seen on TV. It's like the new way of doing things. How can so if I buy something from these TikToker influencers, and I buy a product and it doesn't live up and they're not willing to give me my money back, what are my rights?
That's a really good question. Now, I would think that, are they selling it from Pam who's on there? Is it from Pam, or are they selling it through their influencer company that actually has a legitimate company, would have a warranty or a guarantee, and you could do that? You know what I'm saying?
True. But if it's an individual that has a product.
I don't know. Like she's making, stick houses in her home and selling them for whatever.
Or either she got like a manufacturer from China who's now making this product for her.
Okay.
And it's her that's distributing it.
Man,
That's
you know what I would say? I'd say, man, give me the warranty. Before I buy it, man, give me something. If the Chinese company, I got to find out who they are. Give me the warranty for it. If it's Nike who's selling something to you and Nike has a 3-year warranty, then that's great on their shoes.
Okay.
Whatever.
So you do the research before you make the purchase, which is smart. That's totally a correct answer. There's another one too. So if you're in a situation like, I just recently bought these like conductive headphones. I got sucked into this Instagram stuff. I'm really bad about that. And they were awful. I paid $40 and I was like, I got scammed. Yeah. So they had some nonsense warranty policy. They're like, yeah, we're from the UK. It's going to cost you more to ship it back to us than it would for you to refund it. So they're like, we'll give you 20% back. I read the policy. None of that fine print was in there.
Yeah.
So instead what I did was I always make sure to purchase things I'm a little bit sketchy about on my American Express credit card.
That's a great idea.
Because
Did American Express
they gave my money back.
Give your money back,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
They have consumer protection. They have purchasing protections all the time. Even my laptop, I got a scratch on it. They gave me a check for $800.
That's a really good idea. And that's a really good thing for people to hear. Any credit card, American Express may be even better, but all credit cards, you do better than paying cash, of course, or wiring money or whatever with a credit card, because you have, I think, 60 to 90 days to be able to dispute the charge.
Yep.
And they will usually take it off the charge and hold it for a minute, for a
and
while.
then they go contact the company.
Then they contact the company. The other good thing I learned about credit card companies, and I took advantage of this, I was in Hawaii. We just talked to Corey about Hawaii, and somebody bumped into me. And I came out to my car, and there was a thing on my rental car.
Okay. And
I'm like, oh, man, So I had to get back, get my insurance and all that stuff. But with the rental car, if you and I think some people know that, but I don't know if they really used it. But if you charge the rental car on a credit card,
they have protection.
They have $1,000 that they'll pay for whatever it is. So my deductible was $1,000, and they paid up to $1,000. Yeah, it took forever. It was Chase, so it took forever. But they did actually come up with $1,000. Yeah. So they paid my whole deductible, and it was all paid for. So that's a good thing to kind of think about, because you think about it and you think, there's so many things that are offered. But that's a really good one.
Credit cards can be your best friend if you know how to use them right.
If you can pay them off.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get the points.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we just went to the Chase Lounge in New York City.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It was so great. It was
Sapphire? Chase Sapphire Lounge?
Yes, the Chase Sapphire. And we have a credit card now. Granted, the annual fee's a lot. But, oh, my God, it was like all you can drink, all you can eat.
Oh, wow.
It was fantastic.
It's probably worth it, because we thought about it. And my wife and I are so cheap. We're like, where's the no fee lounge?
No, I'm not
gonna, because we had Sapphire, we got rid of it. All right, last question I'm gonna give to you here, Daphne. All right, so you're 1 for 1.
Okay,
you're good. You get a text or email from Amazon, or really any business, about something you bought or renewed, but you didn't do this. There's a number to call for disputes. What should you do? 1, call the number and find out what's going on. 2, log into your account. 3, if you didn't do it, ignore it.
2, log into your account and check.
Ding, 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 ding.
Boom.
Whoa, she's a winner. Yes. We should have like a bell and the BBB thing goes off. Yeah, because this is another huge scam, because what they're doing, the scammers are now, and this kind of gets into your realm a bit, but with protections and deals and all, but it's basically they're sending you something saying you bought something from Amazon. If you didn't do this, for $400, if you didn't do this, you're like, oh my God, I didn't do that. Let me call Amazon. 866 number. Mm-mm. You call and they're like, hello, can I help you? And then you're talked into it. Before you know it, people are they're into your bank account.
Yeah.
And in some cases, the scammers make it look like they gave you too much money back, and you have to then refund them some, and you're feeling like, oh God, it looks like that. I have to give them money. And that never happened, and you're giving them money.
Oh my God, I go by the philosophy of, it's not my fault that you gave me more money.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not my fault.
Oh my God. That's funny. So,
I'm not going out of my way to give you your money back. I'm not going to steal, but I'm not going out of my way to give you your money back because you made the mistake.
That's actually a good thing. That's probably a good thing. All right, well, let me end here. I think we've gone for like 20 minutes. It's great.
That's perfect.
Let's end with your podcast again. Any hints about what may be coming up? What can people expect in the next couple months? You're going to be out there looking for things that interest people with deals? And
we have so much. I don't want to mention
marketplace
specific
stuff.
episodes coming out because by the time you release this, I might have already had these episodes.
Yeah.
But my best advice is if you're interested in the things I have to say, well, then follow me at smartshopperdaphne.com. And don't forget, I'm Daphne Munro.
Your smart shopper. And I got to say, when I did Let Joe Know with ABC 15, the reason that I came up with that thing at the end was because of you. Because Smart Shopper, everybody remembered that. And I thought, we got to come up with something. And I remember, I don't know if it was easy for you in the beginning.
I'm Joe. Let Joe know.
If you got a problem, let Joe know.
Right.
But at the beginning, it was like, it sounds so simple now, but we were like, what do we have to say? Is it let Joe know? Is it let Joe know? Right. I mean, all the inflection.
You overthink things.
I know. But at the very beginning, you're like, actually at the time they had they were going to call it Get Joe, but they had a campaign with Joe Arpaio, Get Joe, because they wanted to, so they couldn't use that. Yeah, right. It was a time of Jim Hartnell. Yes,
because your name is very common. And don't forget, you had the governor's last name, too, for a while
No
there.
relation.
I know, but I bet you that made you famous just having his last name.
My favorite one was when somebody came in and says, hey, is Doug Ducey your dad?
Oh, that's bad.
I was like, yes.
I think he's actually younger than you.
He is.
He is. Okay, really quick.
Anyway,
so you are now at the BBB.
Yeah.
And what is you're doing these podcasts and you're just basically fighting for the consumer. What is the BBB going to be? Is there anything coming up that the BBB is going to be doing here to educate us consumers?
Well, the Better Business Bureau, it's amazing when I got into this place. I've dealt with these guys for a long time, but when I got in here, I didn't realize all they do. And you've gotten a tour of this place today, and it's it's like so much stuff they do. Like they've got the Hispanic Chamber over here. They've got places that accredited businesses can go and use. They can use this podcast room and make their own podcasts.
Yeah, and you can rent office space for free if you're a member. You get a lot of support.
And I know to people out there like, oh my God, they're saying all these great things about BBB because he works for them. No, it really is because I'm really stunned by some of the stuff that's out there.
I don't work for the BBB.
And you don't work
for the BBB. I think they're great, and I love being accredited by them, and I want them behind me, and it's something that I just know. Whenever I would do business with a company, I always look them up at the BBB, because if you are an accredited BBB member, that means that it matters to you.
Exactly. And I think that what I'm going to try to do here is build on the consumer part of this, but also with businesses as well. I mean, I dealt with a lot of businesses, and I always said that we were pro-consumer, and probably you guys too. It was a pro-consumer element, but never anti-business.
Right.
It was never, I never came down on businesses, I don't think, unfairly. I think I wanted people to find the good ones that we know are in every industry, and then how to avoid the bad ones.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And in fact, I wrote an article, I think, for the business thing called, talking about, hey, how do you keep somebody like me coming to your door?
Right.
It's like what I've learned from all these consumer complaints. And the number one thing is communication. I mean, so many times.
Joe, how many years have you been a consumer reporter?
I've been, this is now your podcast. I like it.
I'm just saying.
I like it. I've been a reporter for 40 years, and this is the last 25 probably, investigative consumer reporter. Yeah. Detroit, Tampa, and San Francisco, and then here.
So based on that, this guy knows his stuff. So if he's telling you to do something or not to do something, you need to listen to him.
There you go. And likewise.
Yeah.
You know your stuff too. So the podcast, again, is
Smart Living.
Smart Living.
And, I release an episode about every week or so. This is kind of like whenever I feel like it kind of stuff.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? You don't have the.
I don't want the pressure, but also I want to make sure I'm putting out good content that people are going to listen to.
Yeah. Well, so far so good.
Okay.
All right, that's Daphne Munro. Thank you for being here, Daphne. We'll see each other. I know we keep in touch. And I'm Joe Ducey. And what's my tagline here? What am I supposed to say?
He's trying to figure it out.
I think it's actually a good one. Did I mail that to myself? Oh, I'm Joe Ducey for the Better Business Bureau, serving the Pacific Southwest. I don't have to say all that, but I can say. What's the rest of it?
I'm Joe Ducey.
Helping consumers and businesses get it right.
There we go. I like that. I'm Joe Ducey, helping consumers get it right.
There you go. Bye-bye. Before hiring, go to bbb.org, check reviews, and for accredited businesses that agree to operate ethically. And see all my podcasted videos, joeknowsbetter.bbbcommunity.org.